hello there. I'm Simon Phillips, and I'm here to tell you all about my 30th anniversary drum kit, which is behind me. Take a look. My relationship with Tama actually goes back 30 years, hence 30-year anniversary. It was kind of interesting. My first visit to Japan, 1978, and I was with Jeff Beck and Stanley Clark. I don't know how they found us, but suddenly some people from Hoshino, Gaki, came in and introduced themselves. They came to the gig, which was the next night, and they brought a load of samples. Now, I'd seen some of the Tama stuff, but I really hadn't seen a lot. But the stuff they showed me was kind of really new stuff, and I was pretty blown away by the quality. But I also wanted to have something. It was the 70s, and we were kind of into kind of loud and getting louder at that point. And I wanted to get a fiberglass kit. And I asked them, can you make a fiberglass drum kit? So we continue around Japan. We get back to Tokyo about a week later, and they have brought a whole double kit fiberglass, two 22-inch bass drums, 10, 12, 13, 14 power toms, 14, 16, 18 floor toms, gong drum, 8 octobans, hence octobans, 2 snare drums. The 30th anniversary kit, the shell construction, actually came out of one of the signature drums. A few years ago I was in Nagoya again, on tour with Toto, and met up with the guys from Hoshino, and they asked me if I would like to make another signature drum. And I said, yeah, sure. Have you ever mixed shells before? Like different woods? How about Bubinga maple sandwich? I mean, really was off the top of my head. I had no idea what it would be like at all. Kind of more retro than the other signature drums that I had made. And that was the start of it. I got the first prototype, and it sounded great. We made a few mods to it. But basically that shell construction was very successful. So, again, over dinner, the subject of a 30th anniversary drum kit came up, and my immediate thought was, well, why don't we just continue the same concept, which is using the mixture of shells, and that was it. It was really just an idea and a thought. I didn't know if it would be good or not, but it turned out great. The type of heads I use are single ply, and the way I tune really uses the shell. It relies on the shell an awful lot. The maple drums are fairly, let's say they have quite a mellow sound to them. But you can tune them really high and really tight and they still sound big. They don't choke up. The downside of them is they don't have as much transients. Now, the Bubinga shell is a much heavier, denser wood. It's also a much thicker shell. And the thing I really noticed about it was the transients were excellent. So that kind of led me to think about mixing the two woods and hopefully to get the best out of both worlds. Amazingly enough, I think we did it. Here's my drum kit, my 30th anniversary drum kit. Obviously with my drum kits I like to design them so they're easy to set up. Everything is locked with clamps, and so they set up the same, and they're very ergonomic too, kind of space saving. And so what I did was using bits of Tama stands and also the rack that they make, came up with this. It's basically a bass which comes from the Tilt series. This one stand is doing three things. It's holding the octobans, it's holding a cymbal, and it's also holding a snare drum, which is the little piccolo drum there. Coming around here, we get to my left bass drum, 24 by 15. This has two toms on it. It's got a 10 by 7 and a 12 by 9 tom. You notice that the tom mount is mounted as far forward as I can get them, and it means I can get the tom-toms positioned in a really good way. I can also get my hi-hat in. Coming across, you can't really see much of the snare drum, but it's in there. To the other bass drum, same size. This is holding the 13 by 10 and the 1411. Same thing, the mount is pretty far up front. And then we come round to here, where we get 3 floor toms. Great attention though is paid to the height that I have the toms up. These are pretty extended, so there's quite a bit of wobble there, which is good. Same with these drums here. These are up at the top because it offers a little bit more suspension. And then we get to the gong drum, which again is kind of one of my customized pieces here. One thing about the gong drum being quite big, it's a little hard to mount this thing, so I put it on a tripod stand. It actually works really, really well. And that's basically it.